you don't have this crisis that happens.
Right.
So there's, your identity. And you're right, Jamie. Like, how do you get your identity? You think, as a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah.
You think and you do. You think and you do. You think and you do, right? And and how do you think? Well, it says, think on these things, whatever's lovely, whatever's pure, right? Well, before it says, this is in Philippians 4, but before it says that, it says, don't be anxious for anything, but in everything with prayer, supplication, and thanksgiving, make your requests be made known to the Lord, and the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and your mind, right? So then it says, and then whatever you're thinking on, think on these things. So that's Paul speaking, and he's pointing to what to think about, right? Because again, where is this happening? It's happening in our mind,
Right.
just like it happens with everybody. All it takes is one bad thought to come in. If you can't guard against that, you're gonna let it in. Yeah, that makes sense. My husband doesn't love me. Not the way I need to be loved.
Yeah.
Because how do I need to be? I don't really know how to be loved.
But then-
that's the problem.
so then
a
you-
real man would know how to love me. You see what I mean? Like,
and then you start seeing these other fake examples on social media and start telling yourself, "Oh, that's how I need to be loved. Oh, that's what's my love language." And you start looking to these other sources for your identity,
Right.
and then you're just convoluting things even more and more.
you don't know. If you don't have a grounding for it, then you're just going to go and complicate it more because you're going to do this thing. It's just like, oh, this makes sense to me. Let me let that in.
Yeah.
You just defiled yourself, right? It's just like, let me let this person into me,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You just defiled yourself. Let me let this other person in to me,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same thing with ideas. You let bad ideas in, and then you're acting in those things, right? It's becoming a part of who you are.
Yeah.
And the more and more you let in, the more you're not going to know who you are because you're going to be so complicated. And then we're wondering why we can't deal with anything. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
I was gonna say, think about this. I'm hearing something more and more where I hear parents saying this, both men and women, mostly women, but I hear this a lot. I would, and this is for married people, by the way. I want my kids to live their life a little bit before they get married. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And what they're saying is, I regret my choices. So I would rather my kid not do what I do. See, when you make marriage a burden, it becomes a burden. Because they're making it sound as though I was burdened by the marriage. So I would rather them live their life. Jamie, you and I know we have a relative in common who
Mm-hmm.
said, I want my daughter to have the college experience. I didn't
Yeah.
have it.
Absolutely.
I want her to go live that life. Well, why? What your life? What's wrong with your life? I mean, you're married. I don't know. I just feel like I missed out on what? I don't know. But I want her to have that. You know what I'm saying? Or a father saying, I want him to go out and sow his wild oats. And like you said, Jake, we're not glorifying, from a godly perspective, we're not glorifying marriage and making marriage and monogamy, especially under Christ, a good thing. We're making it look like, go live your life, go out there and have fun first. And so we're surprised when people are 35 and they have fertility issues and they can't get married and they're depressed. We're going against nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now I'm not saying rush out and get married at 22 or anything like that, but I'm saying technically that's when you should be prepping your children to be one day be a wife, be a husband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're seeing the consequences of that
Of
mentality
that.
now.
Yeah.
When you look at the birth rates, I don't know if you guys have been seeing like the catastrophic numbers and like the fear that's surrounding that, especially with Gen Alpha. Like I think there's only been like Gen Alpha only consists of like 40 million people,
Yes.
which is
Bro,
insanely bad.
I when she, when Shanique and I were trying to conceive with Alonzo, thank goodness I took matters into my own hands. Thank you. Um we were going to fertility clinic. I'm looking around and I'm seeing young women. I'm like, this shouldn't be.
Yeah,
This shouldn't be. But But we have young women in there that have abused the what's the pill, right?
Yep.
You know, and you've tricked your body into being feeling that you're pregnant for 20 years. You've been on that since you were 15, and you think at 35 you're just gonna get off of that and everything will be all right.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine being in a coma and you're like, all right, take me off the machine. I want to race Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't make no sense.
It's not going to
That
work.
food too. I've been looking at a lot of stuff. How much stuff has toxins and that
Plastics, microplastics.
Yeah.
that
But I
affect.
mean,
I don't know how
that's affecting the birth rates as well. And like, I'm just pulled up the numbers right here because I wanted to see. And you're seeing this, and I keep wondering, like, why are they catering so much? Even with like marketing, with TV shows, with movies, everything is being catered to like our generation, Gen X, millennials. Like everything is reboots of our childhood, and I'm like, why is this happening? It's because the market share is there. Because when you look at the numbers, or you could pull this up, Lise. Look at the numbers here. Gen X. So after the baby boomers, which was a huge spike, right? Baby boomers didn't have a lot of kids because, they're selfish. So 55 million to 60 million births between 1965 to 1980. And then there was a huge spike again in our generation with millennials. Everything was thriving economically, 78 million to 82 million, right? But then our generation, millennials, were busy, well, like James said, living their lives in their 20s before they get married, going to college, starting their careers. Women weren't having kids. So when you look at Gen Z, only the numbers drop drastically to 68 million. But then look at Gen Alpha. Barely, almost the same as the silent generation. 100 years before it. The numbers, 48 million to 50 million. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, like what we're talking about, when you look at the effect that mentality is having on even us having a younger generation that can replace us, that can enter into the workforce, that can, like, why are all these companies struggling to find workers? Why are they struggling to exist? Why are they shutting down? Like I said, why are they catering to our generation with all the marketing and promote? It's because there's no one in that generation to market to, especially when you look at the age range of people that are at buying power.
Yeah.
Like there's even less.
And like when you think about the silent generation, well, it wasn't that people weren't having kids, it's that more kids were dying
Yes.
in that generation.
Right. Because there wasn't the healthcare that we had in place. Sanitation wasn't what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember our grandfather was one of 12 kids, but a couple of them died.